Alrighty then, welcome Patriots to the election night decode. KenWTFtucky, what is going on? I'm here to tell you what's going on. Okay, with 99% of the precincts reporting in Kentucky, we have 1.43 million ballots cast, 1,430,000 ballots. But it's a three-man race. Matt Bevins, the incumbent Republican governor, is down to Andy Beshear, who is the son of the Beshear that Bevins beat in 2015. Andy Beshear has 706,577 votes. Matt Bevins has 695,994 votes, and this is with 99% of the precincts reporting. So Beshear is up 49.4 to 48.6%. So there's going to be a recall. They're going to have to go to the absentee ballots and the military ballots. So hopefully there will be more than 10,600 because that's what's separating them now. 10,000, about roughly 10,600 votes. So what's going on here? POS never Trumper independent or libertarian candidate John Hicks has pulled 2% of the vote, 28,125 votes. Guaranteed those votes go mostly to Bevins. So instead of being down 10,600, he would be up roughly 17 or 18,000, right? That's what's going on here. But also look, there's 1.43 million ballots cast here, but in the Attorney General's race, which is being won handily by Daniel Cameron. Actually, they've already called it for Cameron. He polled 525,884 votes to Greg Stumbo. What an unfortunate name that is, Greg Stumbo. He's a Stumbo bum. That would be my ad. I'd have at least one negative attack ad out there referring to him as Gregory Stumbo bum. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, in the Northeast, a common epithet for someone is to call them a stumble bum. Okay, so he won 58.2 to 41.8. He won by 16 points. Okay, basically 58% to 42%. But let's look at that race in a little more detail. How many ballots were cast there? That is the big question. So, sorry, it's just running slowly here. Attorney General. For those who don't remember, Cameron is the black Republican for Attorney General that the president had to the microphone at the rally the other night, and after he gave an incredible speech, the president said, you know, a star is born, right? Keep your eye on Daniel Cameron. He is an up-and-comer. And for those of you who don't know, Matt Bevins has been amazing as governor of Kentucky. I said we need 50 Matt Bevins around the country. I mean, I would give my right arm to replace crime boss Cuomo with Matt Bevins or a Matt Bevins type. It'll never happen here they're having a hard time getting him reelected in Kentucky, right? There's no hope for him in New York. But only 904,332 votes were cast. I see this is odd, 99% of the precincts they're reporting for Bevins, but they're only reporting 63% of the precincts for the Attorney General race. So even though they've called it for Cameron, it looks like they're not, because they've already called it, they're not updating the totals. But one of the things we'll keep an eye on, and I'll come back tomorrow to give you a full, tonight's just the hot takes. I'll come back tomorrow to give you a full analysis. But one of the things I'm going to look at is how many ballots were cast in the gubernatorial race versus how many ballots were cast in the Attorney General's race and other state executive races, because we've also got Agriculture Commissioner, we've got, what else do we have? We've got Attorney General, Lieutenant Governor, and Governor run on the same ticket in Kentucky. So you got Attorney General, Secretary of State, Agricultural Commissioner, Auditor, and Treasurer. So we're going to look at the total number of ballots in each of those elections, because what I'm foreseeing is a Beto versus Ted election. Remember, allegedly, and I'm still not buying it, Texas. 500,000 people that voted for Greg Abbott for governor also voted for Beto as senator. Not buying it. Not buying that there were 500,000 people that voted. You know, there weren't 500,000 people that voted for Greg Abbott because he's in a wheelchair, but they were really Democrats, and they voted for Beto in the Senate. Not buying it. Not buying it. Doesn't add up. Too much of a mismatch. So we're going to look at the Kentucky race and see what happens there. But definitely there will be a recall, or not a recall, there will be a recount in Kentucky. They will be going to the absentee and the military ballots, which I think the military ballots now have 2 weeks to come in. I don't know what the law is in Kentucky, but I think they give them a lot of leeway because most of the ballots are postmarked through an APO or an FPO. So I don't know that we're going to know who the governor of Kentucky is for quite a while. What we do know is that ABC News has lost all credibility as a reputable news source. All credibility. I mean, ABC is now less credible than MSLSD. David Muir should be ashamed of himself. He's not the president of ABC News, but he certainly knew that this was going on. So, David, I hope you enjoy your $1.7 million lake house in Skaneateles that you just bought. David, you see, is a native Syracusan. I've known about David and followed his career from his earliest days. And then he went to Boston, where I got to see him there. And now he's on the national desk at ABC News. And he's no journalist, okay? Somebody, Louise Stephan, posted a memory she had. I did a live just a year ago tonight with Jenna Freeney, and it was a Q&A. And in that I said, in addition to telling everybody that Q wasn't an oracle, Q wasn't a prophet, Q wasn't something in which we believe. So if you say you believe in Q, you really need to rethink your thinking. And I've been saying this for the last year. You can go look at the video and watch it. But I said in there that when I was explaining the Mockingbird Media talking points, I specifically used David as a case in point. He's not a journalist, he's a newsreader, and he doesn't write what he reads. Okay? These people have zero credibility. We now have, and of course she walked it back and said, oh, you know, I was just speaking candidly off camera in a moment of frustration. Like, yeah, well, what have we learned from James O'Keefe and Project Veritas? That's when people tell the truth. They tell the truth when they think the cameras aren't rolling. Gotcha. Amy Rohrbach is now trying to walk it back. Sorry, Amy. You were telling the truth the first time. 3 years ago, you had it all. I understand your frustration that it all seemed like big revelations. Because you had it all. You had photographs. You had Bill Clinton. You had Prince Andrew. You had all of them. You had the story 3 years ago, Amy. And shame on you for putting your job ahead of what is right. What is legal. Amy, you say, oh, you know, they spiked the story. There was nothing I could do. You could have gone to the FBI, Amy. You could have gone to the NYPD, Amy. Did you go to the feds? Did you go to the cops? Why did you cover up the story, Amy? How many more girls were raped between the time you had the story and it got spiked by the disgraceful ABC News? Which, believe it or not, I used to think ABC, among the 3 lousy news networks, was at least the most least lousy. I would have ordered, in terms of legitimacy, truthfulness, closeness to the truth, because I don't think any of them are truthful, I would have put ABC at the top, CBS at the bottom, and NBC third. NBC being the worst. Now, I think they're all just as bad, because CBS spied on Cheryl Atkinson. Okay? And CBS didn't stand up for Cheryl Atkinson when she was spied on by the Obama administration, I should say. NBC, I don't have to tell you about NBC. the whole Matt Lauer thing, the whole, they lost a lawsuit in the 80s for making up news on prime time. They put explosive firecrackers underneath by the gas tank of a pickup truck to make it explode, to say that there was a problem with the pickups exploding. And now ABC with this latest disgrace. So we basically have no network news. There's no network news. Because Fox News, they don't even use the fair and balanced tagline anymore, do they? Owned by the Saudis, Paul Ryan, the younger brother, the brothers, Roger Ailes is out. What more do I have to say? You can't trust FNC for hard news. Good opinion still. Okay, good lineup with Tucker and Sean and Laura. Love Judge Janine. Love the fact that Mark Levin's show today was announced. It's moving to 8 o'clock on Sunday nights on Fox News. That's all great. Love Steve. Love Steve calling out his colleague, Miss Marie Harf, rhymes with Barf, former State Department spokeswoman, Democrat, by the way, Marie Harf. Don't be fooled. Steve called her out today on Outnumbered and said, because she said, everything you've said is allegation, talking about covering up the Biden's corruption. We have State Department memos from 2016 saying that Hunter Biden's job at Burisma was a conflict of interest for Joe, and they were actually advising Hillary Clinton to respond to questions by saying, if you have concerns, any questions about the vice president's involvement with Burisma should be addressed to the office of the vice president. That's what they were telling Hillary Clinton, how to handle a Burisma question in debates. We've got the State Department memos. Marie Harf is saying, there's nothing, there's no allegations. Everything you said was just made up. And Steve's sitting there like, no, it's not. And you're part of the cover-up. He called her out as corrupt and covering up. On air, on Outnumbered today. So expect to see his Sunday show canceled to him out of FNC. You heard it here first. That's what I'm expecting. I don't think they're going to bounce Marie Harf. I think they're going to bounce Steve. Love Jesse Waters. So there's some good people to watch on Fox News, but I don't trust the news. Even though Shemp is gone, I still don't trust the news part of Fox. I like the opinion part, but opinion and news are different. You see, this is what people don't understand in media properties. There's supposed to be a concrete wall between the news operation and the opinion people. So who do you go to for news? You got to go online. You got to look at original sources. Okay, you've got to really wade through all the dross to piece it together and finally get some semblance of the truth. But there is no more nightly news, and ABC News just proved that today. Thank you, James O'Keefe and Project Veritas. I think Amy Rohrbach walked that back today because she's probably now afraid for her life, justifiably so. I posted this morning, Bill and Hillary looking at each other, their heads together and looking at each other knowingly, kind of with the smirk on their faces. And, the line was, Bill and I were very upset to learn this morning of Amy Rohrbach's suicide tonight. So, I doubt they would be that brazen to take her out now because everybody's watching, right? I don't think they will take her out, but who knows? Everybody was watching Jeffrey Epstein too, weren't they? And don't you love the memes? I mean, I know, you might think that I've gone a little meme crazy on the Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. I've been curating that feed. I've only been posting the ones that really make me chuckle. I haven't been posting every one of them. I've only posted maybe 30% of the ones that I see and that are sent to me. So I'm curating them for you, and I'm giving you the best of the best because I'm committed to quality here. And, when I'm wrong about something, I will admit it. But that happens so rarely that it is something worthwhile to note. You can mark it in your calendar. But when I am wrong, I will admit it. I'll never lie to you. I'll always do my best to give you the truth. And I'll always give you my honest opinion. All right, that's all I've got for now. Until next time, God bless you. God bless these United States. Keep fighting the good fight.